Okay, so I have the Rhino Rack backbone system on the 4Runner. Now it's time to assemble the Pioneer Rack tray that goes on it. However, when I got my Pioneer Rack, it was not in the best condition as far as the box goes. So we're gonna open this guy up and make sure everything's in here. Yeah, make sure we're not missing anything. Alright, looks like everything's bundled together pretty well. So it may be actually totally fine. These edge pieces were in there and they were on top, and they're actually looking in really good shape. So I'm optimistic that nothing actually happened. And it looks like all of the accessories, that's empty. That's nothing. But this looks like this is probably where all the bolts and hardware are. Oh yeah, and that's fine because that was on the other side. All right, I think I dodged a bullet on terrible COVID shipping treatments. It's hard to do one-handed. So these look like they're the two cross or front and back pieces. Put them down here gently. Little rubbing inside the box on the powder coat, not a huge deal. And these look like cross pieces. Again, you can see that there was some rubbing inside the box. FedEx was not kind to this box. However, it's all about function and nothing looks like it's dented or ruined. Okay, these are the actual platform pieces. Wow, that's pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's look to see what I'm supposed to have in it. So I did get the flat pack, as you can see that it's not all previous assembled. And that was primarily to save on shipping costs. And honestly, I'm wondering if it actually would have gotten more damaged if I would have had the full one, because they would have been a bigger box for them to break. So carrying capacity, this is all just what it is. I just want to make sure that I have all my pieces. Here we go. I think we actually are all good here. However, this is the time when I go, I should have bought the one that was already assembled, because now I have to assemble it. That's what happens. I get all excited to save a little bit of money, and now I'm irritated that I have to do more work. Sometimes tomorrow John is pretty irritated with yesterday John. Whatever. Alright, so I just decided to set up our sand mat, the CG Gear sand mat. It's we got it to be out here by the truck and haven't really used it for that yet, but look at this, it's a little bit thicker than a tarp, so I think it'll be a nice thing to make sure that the top of the rack doesn't get scratched. Also, look at how nicely printed those numbers are on there. I don't know if you can see that on there. It's going to be very fantastic to be able to line stuff up. I'll tell you that right now. All right, let's do this. Let's do this not one-handed. This is too nice to break. So we got the tent kind of all unpacked. But now, I gotta figure out how to mount that to that. I just realized that that hardware doesn't quite work. So, time to start measuring or something. Okay, so, gotta try to figure out how to mount this tent. Why do you have, wait, this way, an awesome rack that doesn't match tents? It's fine. So, here's the plan, I think. So, in here, there's this rack, and then there's this slot. So I have to figure out how to match that to that. So what I'm thinking right now is actually moving this rack, this slot, taking it off, drilling new holes in the tent, but first mounting this here. So that way that can be hard mounted, and then come down from the top of the tent and lock everything together. So we'll see how that goes. It's just free spinning, which I'm worried that the nut underneath is stripped. Not a huge deal because I have all the other ones out, so I should just be able to, it is loose, so I should be able to slide out the side. Let's see if we can slide this guy out, and let's grab all these things out. And, I don't know, well, just shooting from the hip. There's one. They are not fully slotted. They just have sections that the nuts are in. The things are fully slotted. See, all three come out, boop, boop, boop. But if the bolt's still through, it can't slide out. So, I guess plan F. Use the lever to wedge it. Alright, so basically this little nut inside there is spinning, and I even trying to jam a screwdriver, it's not working. So sometimes you just got to be mean about it. Ended up having to drill out this hole, and after I drilled it out enough, there was enough tension to just break the bolt, and now it's free. Nothing can be easy. Nothing can be easy. Okay, so it's a new day. Had to kind of pause the project yesterday. We had stuff going on, and it was just getting so frustrating with everything not quite working right. But after sleeping on it, I have a new plan. So what's gonna happen, or this is what I'm gonna try. So I'm still gonna move the screw holes over like I previously described. But I'm just gonna use the rails that came on the tent as spacers. So I went and got some new bolts from Home Depot that should hopefully fit through the same holes in the tent and actually also mount directly to the rails on the Pioneer racks. Okay, so here's the idea, here's the plan. So I just drilled the holes in the tent and put the bolt in, obviously with the big fender washer. And to attach it to the actual rack, at Home Depot I found these galvanized track lock washers for like the super strut, like the electrical conduit hanging track. They came with these little blue nylon lockers, which allows them to have the right standoff in that system. But those nylon lockers just slip right off. So now these are basically the exact same size as the lock nuts, the locking track nuts that came with the Pioneer Rack. And with this 1/4 inch screw, or bolt rather, basically the whole thing will sandwich just like originally, where this slides in the track. There's the actual spacer that was the original track to mount to the roof bars that came off the tent, and then the actual thickness of the tent. These are 2.5 inches thick. 2.25, 2.5 inches thick. We'll see how they go. We got the tent on the roof. This actually worked really well. The only main thing is the bolt holes were a little small, so there wasn't a lot of wiggle room. I would have done a little bit bigger hole, so there's a little bit more side-to-side play, and it would have landed in the rack a little bit easier. But as far as measurement goes, I was right on. Sometimes it was just a little too close. And of course, I forgot to put the ladder on, which is like the first thing you're supposed to do, but whatever.
The 23 Zero Walkabout 72 is a big tent, and it just fits on the 4Runner. However, this amount of room is perfect for a family of 4 and a pup. We will definitely stay high and dry, and most importantly away from all the crawly bitey things. Stay tuned for the next video where I install the Rhino Rack batwing awning. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.